The biggest flops in modern football. Many a time has a football player burst onto the scene and enjoyed a stellar season with a lesser club, only for a bigger club with big bucks to come calling. Lured by the promise of silverware and legendary status, said player makes the move. Still, it doesn't always work out and the player is quickly labeled a flop. This can be for several reasons, including injuries that prevent the player from performing at their best, difficulty adjusting to a new environment, or simply being unable to meet the high standards set for them. As a result, their transfers become cautionary tales for other clubs in the future. In this video, we'll highlight some of the biggest player flops in modern football and give you the backstory on what really happened. But before we get into it, be sure to like the video, smash the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell for intriguing football stories. Fernando Torres. Liverpool FC to Chelsea FC, 2011. During Fernando Torres' early days at Atletico Madrid, Chelsea made an unsuccessful attempt to acquire him. A few years later, Torres became Liverpool's record signing for a fee of £26.5 million. During his 4 seasons at Liverpool, he scored 65 goals in 105 matches. There was no doubt that Torres was a world beater. His sharpness and attacking prowess in front of goal once again caught the attention of Chelsea, who swooped him for £50 million. At the time, this made Torres the 6th most expensive player in the world. Unfortunately, he only scored 1 goal in his entire first Premier League season with Chelsea and failed to improve in later seasons, scoring a less than respectable 45 goals in 172 appearances. After a run of poor form and being unable to find his feet at the Blues, he ultimately left for AC Milan for £1 million as one of the club's biggest flops. Interestingly, after a single goal in 10 Serie A matches, Torres returned to Atletico Madrid on a free transfer. He was able to find his form and enjoy the rest of his career at his beloved club. Although Torres' performances were not great, his tenure at Stamford Bridge is somewhat unusual because it coincided with remarkable achievements. Throughout his time at Chelsea, he secured the Champions League, Europa League, and FA Cup. Furthermore, while he was a Chelsea player, he triumphed in Euro 2012 with Spain and emerged as the leading scorer of that competition. Even Irish supporters might recall his goal in Spain's 4-0 victory over the Irish team. Eden Hazard. Chelsea FC to Real Madrid, 2019. After his stellar World Cup campaign with Belgium, Hazard had passed his Madrid audition with flying colors, stealing the show for the Belgian Red Devils in Russia. He captained the side to a 3rd-place finish and won the silver ball of the tournament, being adjudged the 2nd-best player, behind Luka Modric. That's not to mention his successful stint at Chelsea over 7 months, where he amassed 2 Premier League titles, 110 goals, and 92 assists in 352 appearances. His arrival at Real Madrid came with much anticipation, with many hoping he could at least attempt to fill the void left by Cristiano Ronaldo, who left the club the previous year. He even took the number 7 shirt. Still, for how good Hazard was, it would have been naive to assume that Hazard would replace Ronaldo at Real Madrid, given that they have vastly different playing styles and would bring different contributions to the team. Upon his unveiling, Hazard said, "I'm going to try to become the best player in the world, but first I wanted to be in the best team in the world. I'm not a Galactico, but I'll try to be. For now, I'm Eden Hazard." Since joining the club, the Belgian forward has struggled with injuries, recording more injuries than goals and more misses than assists. His decline began when he was forced off injured during a 3-0 group stage defeat to Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League in September 2019. Although initially reported as a bruised ankle, further tests showed he had sustained a serious hairline crack in his foot, ruling him out for Madrid's next 16 games in all competitions, just when he had started to show real promise. Ahead of the 2020-21 campaign, Hazard's attitude was called into question after he infuriated Madrid bosses by turning up overweight, having put on as much as 5 kilos. Although he started the season well, he was eventually ruled out due to further injuries, and Madrid fans began to turn on him, with #HazardOut trending on social media, regardless of whether he was on the pitch or not. Over the course of 2.5 seasons, Hazard has played for 2,854 minutes, and as per Transfermarkt, he has suffered from 15 distinct injuries or illnesses, resulting in him missing 61 games. 2 seasons later, he is yet to make an impact. Kaka. AC Milan to Real Madrid, 2009. At the San Siro, the Brazilian superstar had it all: domestic titles, Champions League victories, and personal accolades, including the 2007 Ballon d'Or. He was a world-class forward who combined power, agility, and exceptional technique, and when he celebrated his goals by pointing to the sky, the footballing world knew it was Kaka. But with one high-profile transfer to Real Madrid, Kaka's natural talents seemed to disappear. His move for £56 million to the Bernabeu in 2009 was reminiscent of Zinedine Zidane's switch from Serie A to La Liga in 2001, but the similarities ended there. While Zidane is remembered as the king of Madrid's Galactico era and for his Champions League winning goals, Kaka's career at the Bernabeu was marked by disappointment. When Kaka arrived at Madrid, he was overshadowed by the £80 million rated Cristiano Ronaldo. His career at Madrid began poorly and only got worse. 1 year after joining the Spanish side, Kaka's decision to play in the 2010 World Cup could have ended his career after suffering injury. Upon returning to Madrid, prolonged knee pain additionally forced him to undergo vital surgery. He initially expected to be sidelined for only 4 months, but it took 8 months before he was able to play for the club again. Just 2 months after his return, he was diagnosed with iliotibial band syndrome, a common swelling of the knee tissue that often affects runners and athletes. Kaka's initial lack of fitness led Madrid to buy German playmaker Mesut Ozil in 2010, and many expected Ozil to take his place on the bench when Kaka was fit. But Ozil's performances immediately produced important goals and assists for the team. As Kaka's time on the sidelines mounted, Ozil continued to impress. With Ronaldo dominating every La Liga defense and Ozil leading the midfield, Kaka had to be exceptional every time he played. The weight of Madrid's attacking talent was on his shoulders, and if he didn't perform, someone else would. This put immense pressure on Kaka, and when his form was poor, the media reaction amplified this pressure. It was clear that he couldn't live up to the high expectations demanded at the Bernabeu, and after 120 appearances for Los Blancos, the Brazilian left for pastures new. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Inter Milan to FC Barcelona, 2009. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is widely regarded as one of the most talented footballers of his generation and has had an illustrious career, having played for some of the biggest clubs in the world and won numerous titles and awards. He'd tell you himself. However, his transfer to Barcelona is widely regarded as one of the worst deals in football history. The Blaugrana paid Inter €69.5 million for Ibrahimovic and also gave up Samuel Eto'o, who played a pivotal role in Inter's treble-winning campaign after knocking out Barcelona in the semi-finals. This transfer deal ultimately derailed Ibrahimovic's Barcelona career as he was seen as an individual rather than a team player. Although Ibrahimovic's early success at Barca was impressive with 7 goals in his first 7 La Liga games, his difficulties began with Pep Guardiola's decision to reposition Lionel Messi in a more central role. While it is unclear whether Guardiola opposed Ibrahimovic's style of play or whether the team could not adapt to it, the evidence was clear on the pitch. As the Swedish international explained, "I had done a lot to adapt," Ibrahimovic said in one extract, courtesy of Eurosport. The Barca players were like schoolboys, following the coach blindly, whereas I was used to asking why. I like guys who run red lights, not pedantic and strict rules. Ibrahimovic was rarely used to provide an alternative approach, and his relationship with Guardiola had completely broken down. The striker's agent Mino Raiola even called Guardiola a coward ahead of the 2012 Champions League final. Despite scoring 21 goals in all competitions, the personality clash between Ibrahimovic and Guardiola was a key factor for the striker's failures at Barcelona. Philippe Coutinho. Liverpool FC to FC Barcelona, 2018. After selling Neymar for a record €222 million, Barcelona turned their attention to Coutinho and haggled Liverpool into raising the fee to €120 million, with an additional €40 million in add-ons. The Brazilian was touted as a replacement for Neymar, Iniesta, and Messi, but failed to make a significant impact on the team. Within a year of his arrival, Barcelona was already looking to get rid of him. Many argue that the burden shouldn't all lie on Coutinho's shoulders. Was he a striker? Was he a winger? Was he a midfielder? Coutinho was bought without a solid plan from the manager or coaches to implement him in their team. In a Barcelona jersey, Coutinho only performed in the absence of Messi. Take his well-executed opening goal in a 5-1 Clásico victory at the Camp Nou during the 2018-19 season, for example. When the Argentinian superstar was fit and available, there was little need for another versatile playmaker in the squad. From the winter of 2018 through the spring of 2019, Messi tallied an impressive 22 goals and 7 assists across 16 La Liga matches, while Coutinho failed to score and provided just 1 assist. Despite being on Barca's books for 4 years, his most memorable contribution was scoring 2 goals against them while on loan to Bayern Munich in 2020 to knock them out of the Champions League. After struggling to offload him for years, Barcelona finally sold him to Aston Villa for a mere €20 million in 2022 as they tried to recover from near bankruptcy under Bartomeu. Neymar Jr. FC Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain, 2017. Although Neymar has showcased his extraordinary skills and abilities during his time at Paris Saint-Germain, it is difficult to consider it a successful period. The triumvirate of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, commonly known as MSN, played a pivotal role in Barcelona's triumphant treble-winning campaign of 2014-15. They shattered the previous record of 118 goals scored by Real Madrid's attacking trio of Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and Gonzalo Higuaín by amassing an unprecedented 122 goals. Apart from team accomplishments, Neymar had a remarkable individual season, netting 39 goals across all competitions, including 10 in the Champions League. Additionally, he shared the Golden Boot award with his teammate Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, becoming the first player after Kaka in 2006-07 to top the scoring charts in the prestigious European competition. It was this attacking prowess that convinced PSG to bring Neymar Jr. to the French capital. By leaving Barcelona, he emerged from the shadow of Lionel Messi in an attempt to lead the French club to their first Champions League trophy, but was eventually overshadowed by the prodigy Kylian Mbappé and saw his status at PSG further diminished by Messi's arrival. PSG attempted to sell the most expensive player in the world last year, and they will try again at the end of this season. This is even though they are yet to accomplish what they brought the Brazilian to the club for, to win the Champions League. And let's not mention the drama it took to get him out of Catalonia. Nevertheless, finding a buyer for an undisciplined and injury-prone attacker who is now in his 30s seems unlikely. Thank you for watching our video on the biggest player flops in modern football. We hope you enjoyed hearing the stories behind these transfers and what really happened to these players. It's a reminder that despite a player's reputation, big transfers don't always work out, and that the pressure to perform can be immense. Do you agree with our list, or did we miss anyone out? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for a part 2, and turn on the notification bell to never miss an upload. We'll see you in the next one.